I just thought it'd be fun to see if I can get any sort of synchronicity out of my books for this Tin Man thing. Is aside from talking about like how like the heart has been removed from our work, like our daily shaking you so bad, our daily work. I'm not really sure what else I'm supposed to take from that. So let's just see here. They must eat food to nourish the body so that they may hear and receive and explain the teaching, but they should not eat for mere enjoyment. That's actually the opposite. That's the opposite of the message. Because the Tin Man, like the whole thing is like, okay, like this is mechanical. This is talking about mechanical, like being mechanical, just like eating to live so that you can regurgitate information rather than being, being a special and unique being that's here to experience life to its fullest. I have not read this. Now you can, all right, let's see. Now you can enjoy the honor, the things of this world without giving them an importance and significance they don't have. You can participate in the dance of creation and be active without attachment to outcome and without placing unreasonable demands upon the world. Fulfill me, make me happy, make me feel safe, tell me who I am. The world cannot give you those things, and when you no longer have such expectations, all self-centered suffering comes to an end. All such suffering is due to an overvaluation of form and an unawareness of the dimension of inner space. When that dimension is present in your life, you can enjoy things, experiences, and the pleasures of the senses without losing yourself in them, without inner attachment to them. That is to say, without becoming addicted to the world. So this that's kind of like a balance of this. This is like, don't be attached to anything, find moderation. This Buddhism is very much about not being attached to things. It's letting go of attachment. And I have been trying so hard to let go of all this, and now I'm trying to, because I was overly attached to things, and so then I was like trying to let go of everything, and now I'm having to shift into this place of trying to find a balance. Not sure what this has to do with the Tin Man. August 3rd. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. Those who have the great privilege of parenthood are truly blessed. They are part of a sacred stewardship to rear their children in love and righteousness and set for them an example worthy of emulation. Theirs is both a serious responsibility and a joyful adventure to do all they can to raise a happy, well-adjusted, and righteous generation. Those who want the best for their sons and daughters want for them meekness and mercy more than money, love and patience more than power, compassion and submissiveness more than status. And there are those who parent all their lives who are never birth parents themselves. They reach out in love and kindness to other children. They fulfill callings that bless the youth. They manifest goodness in their community as they serve and work to bless children all around them. Happy is the person who loves and serves children. What a nice message. What a nice message. Finding your one true love. According to the dream of the planet, to be in love, we must have someone to love. And apparently not for me. Shoot. Although I think God is a someone, but God isn't a someone. Anyway, and of course that person is supposed to love us back. We get really hung up on this last part. This kind of love has so many conditions attached to it that suffering is inevitable. Not only that, but we also forget the biggest love of our life is the process, ourselves. When we look in the mirror and cannot see a reflection of love, it means smoke has distorted our view and made us think that love is something that needs to be gained or earned. This is true. God right now is teaching me. I feel confident in saying that this is the lesson I'm learning right now. That God is teaching me that I don't need to be loved by anyone except myself and by God. And God's love for me is unconditional, and I need to match that love that God has for me for myself. And part of like this, the challenge of me being able to form community is like I have it in my mind that I want people to love me and I want other people to care about me, but I have to let go of that because I don't have control over whether anybody accepts me. I don't have any control over whether anybody watches my channel. I don't have any control over whether anybody supports anything that I'm doing. And my attachment to wanting to be accepted by society is only going to push people away, is the lesson I'm learning. And so I'm actively working on trying to release all of that. I think I should pick another one of these. The dream of the planet starts with you and the authentic self. We'll read both of these. The authentic self is a term that describes the living being that has the capacity to engage life. Our authentic self is always with us. We simply have filters that can sometimes block our awareness of it. The dream of the planet starts with you. In the Toltec tradition, we have the concept of the personal dream and the dream of the planet. The personal dream refers to how you see the world and how you, in turn, project the world. It all relates to your point of view. You are 100% responsible for your personal dream. The dream of the planet is a relationship between two or more personal dreams. For example, if you and I were physically in the same space, and if you were to touch your fingertip to mine, I would say that 50% of our relationship ends at that meeting point. I'm responsible for myself and my body through the ends of my fingertip, completely responsible. Just are you. I think this is typo. Just as you are responsible for yourself through the tip of your fingers. When we meet, we'll experience synergy, and we all contribute our personal dream to the dream of the planet. Ultimately, the personal dream is the more important one for two reasons. This is where it all starts, and that is the dream you have ultimate control over. I feel like reading another thing. I feel like, man, I've been so tired last couple of days. Oh, the answer. Thank you. We like answers. The answer is both simple and profound. When you are aware of space, you are not really aware of anything except awareness itself, the inner space of consciousness. Through you, the universe is becoming aware of itself. Ooh. When the eye finds nothing to see, there is no thingness. That no thingness is perceived as space. Where the ear finds nothing to hear, that no thingness is perceived as stillness. When the senses, which are designed to perceive form, meet an absence of form, the formless consciousness that lies beyond perception and makes all perception, all experience possible, is no longer obscured by form. When you contemplate the unfathomable depth of space, or listen to the silence in the early hours just before sunrise, something within you resonates with it as if in recognition. You then sense the vast depth of space as your own depth, and you know that precious stillness that has no form to be more deeply who you are than any of the things that make up the content of your life. God, the scripture is saying, is formless consciousness and the essence of who you are. Everything else's form is what people here adore. The twofold reality of the universe, which consists of things and space, thingness and no-thingness, is also your own. A sane, balanced, and fruitful human life is a dance between the two dimensions that make up reality, form and space. Most people are so identified with the dimensions dimension of form with sense, perceptions, thoughts, emotions, that the vital hidden half is missing from their lives. Their identification with form keeps them trapped in ego. What you see, hear, feel, touch, or think about is only half of reality, so to speak. It is form. In the teaching of Jesus, it is simply called the world, and the other dimension is the kingdom of heaven, or eternal life. Interesting. Chaos and higher order. I keep passing the word chaos 3 times now in this last week. I've seen something with the word chaos written on it on my walks. When you know yourself only through content, you will also think you know what is good or bad for you. You differentiate between events that are good for me and those that are bad. This is a fragmented perception of the wholeness of life, in which everything is interconnected, in which every event has its necessary place and function within the totality. The totality, however, is more than the surface appearance of things, more than the sum total of its parts, more than whatever your life or the world contains. Behind the sometimes seemingly random or even chaotic succession of events in our lives, as well as in the world, lies concealed the unfolding of a higher order and purpose. This is beautifully expressed in the Zen saying, "The snow falls, each flake in its appropriate place." We can never understand this higher order through thinking about it, because whatever we think about is content, whereas the higher order emanates from the formless realm of consciousness, from universal intelligence. But we can glimpse it, and more than that, align ourselves with it, which means be conscious participants in the unfolding of the higher purpose. When we go into a forest that has not been interfered with by man, our thinking mind will see only disorder and chaos all around us. It won't even be able to differentiate between life good and death bad anymore, since everywhere new life grows out of rotting, decaying matter. Only if we are still enough inside the noise of thinking subsides can we become aware that there is a hidden harmony here, a sacredness, a higher order in which everything has its perfect place and could not be other than what it is and the way that it is. The mind is more comfortable in a landscaped park because it has been planned through thought. It has not grown organically. There is an order here that the mind can understand. In the forest, there is an incomprehensible order that to the mind looks chaos. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like chaos at all to me. I don't understand why anybody would think that. It all makes perfect sense. Like, when you think about your, like, when you're watering, like if you plant an orange tree, the best fertilizer for that is freaking oranges and orange tree pieces, because, like, in nature, it falls down onto the ground and goes back into the ground. It's the same tree, the same nutrients that that tree needs. Now I'm going off about plants. It is beyond the mental category of good and bad. We cannot understand it through thought, but you can sense it when you let go of thought, become still and alert, and don't try to understand or explain. Only then can you be aware of the sacredness of the forest. As soon as you sense that hidden harmony, that sacredness, you realize you are not separate from it, and when you realize that, you become a conscious participant in it. In this way, nature can help you become realigned with the wholeness of life. Yeah, absolutely. Here's Oprah's book club. This is my bestie Oprah. Freaking my delusional bestie. But in high vibrations of love, it is not delusional. Yeah, it's not delusional.